In 1961, President John F. Kennedy challenged America to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the decade was out. 8 years later, Apollo 11 carries that promise. A Saturn V waits on the pad, and the world is watching what comes next. July 16, 1969. At Kennedy Space Center, 3 stages and 7.5 million pounds of thrust lift Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins skyward. The Saturn V rises, staging cleanly through a thunder of fire, and places Apollo 11 into Earth orbit to begin the voyage. In low Earth orbit, the crew and mission control check systems and align guidance. Ahead lies translunar injection, the burn that will send Columbia and the lunar module toward the moon. When the window opens, they're going to ignite the S-4B and leave Earth behind. The third stage lights and Apollo 11 accelerates onto a lunar trajectory. Minutes later, Collins turns Columbia around, docks with the lunar module Eagle, and extracts it from the spent booster. Ship and lander are linked as one, pointed toward a 500,000-mile round trip. The Earth shrinks in the window as the crew settle into the deep space coast. Days pass in the quiet corridor between worlds. Navigation updates, systems checks, and small correction burns mark the rhythm. Outside, sunlight is stark and shadows are absolute. Inside, routines hold the line as they close in on the moon's gravity well and lunar orbit insertion. July 19th. The service module engine fires behind the moon, out of radio contact, slowing Apollo 11 into lunar orbit. When the signal returns, a gray, cratered world fills the windows. Columbia and Eagle circle low, scouting a site in Mare Tranquillitatis for the attempt to land. Michael Collins remains in Columbia, the command module, tending systems and tracking his crewmates below. Alone on the far side of the moon, he is out of contact, yet fully engaged, the third essential member, ensuring there will be a home to come back to and ready to rescue if needed. July 20th, Eagle undocks and drifts away from Columbia. After checks, the descent engine ignites for powered descent initiation. Guidance, telemetry, and human judgment flow between spacecraft and Houston. This is the commit point, a controlled fall toward a small target on another world. Then, program alarms, 1201 and 1202. The guidance computer is overloaded by extraneous data from the rendezvous radar. In mission control, specialists triage in seconds and call it safe to continue. The crew holds steady. The descent continues, but every heartbeat now feels counted. Fuel is finite. Approaching the target, Armstrong sees boulders and a crater ahead. He takes manual control, skimming down range to find something smooth. Call-outs stay terse. Aldrin feeds altitude and velocity. The fuel margin shrinks to roughly half a minute. It is precision flying on the edge. The landing radar locks. Contact light. Dust billows and settles. Then the words that confirm it to the world. Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. After years of work by thousands, a fragile machine and 2 pilots have put down on the moon, in a calm sea of basalt. Hours later, the hatch opens. Armstrong descends the ladder, inspects the footpad, and steps off. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. A human boot print compresses lunar dust that has lain untouched for billions of years, and history crosses a threshold. Buzz Aldrin follows, testing his hops and gait in 1/6 gravity. He looks across the stark landscape and calls it magnificent desolation. The surface is powdery, the horizon close, the sky utterly black. 2 humans work carefully, tethered to a small lunar base called Eagle. They deploy experiments, take panoramic photos, and bag the first set of lunar samples for return to Earth. A television camera beams grainy images to millions. Flags and footprints mark the visit, but science is the point. Measure, collect, document, and leave the site as cleanly as possible. With the timeline complete, the lunar module lifts off. The ascent stage engine lights, leaving the descent stage behind. In orbit, Eagle rendezvous and docks with Columbia. Samples and film move across. Checklists verify every latch. The crew jettisons Eagle and prepares for the burn home. Trans-Earth injection brings them back across the void. On July 24th, the command module slams into atmosphere, a sheath of plasma around it, chutes blossoming over the Pacific. Splashdown and recovery follow. Apollo 11 fulfills a promise and leaves an image, a boot print on another world, that endures. The crew enters quarantine and the world exhales.